When you hear the name Aleister Crowley, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's dark magic, scandal, and that infamous title, the wickedest man in the world. But behind all that sensationalism, there was an incredibly detailed and structured spiritual system that he created, and he called it Thelema. So today, we're going to look past the shocking reputation and actually explore the system he built. Crowley's rebellion, well, it started early. He was raised in a super strict, fundamentalist Christian family, and his defiance was so intense that his own mother nicknamed him the Beast from the Book of Revelation. But here's the thing. It was a label he later totally embraced as a symbol of his break from all conventional morality. So yeah, beyond the shocking headlines and that whole rebellious persona, Crowley spent his life creating this intricate, magical, and philosophical framework. It's a system that he actually designed to help people discover their own spiritual path. So the real question is, what is this system, and how does it even work? To really get Thelema, you have to start with the man himself, and the moment he said changed, well, everything. See, this isn't just a philosophy he dreamed up. For him, it was a direct revelation, something that was meant to kick off a brand new age for all of humanity. This timeline really puts it all into perspective. He's born in 1875 into this deeply religious family, and of course he rebels. By 1899, he's joined the Golden Dawn, that's a famous secret society, where he totally immerses himself in ceremonial magic, and Kabbalah, which is this ancient mystical map of reality. And all of this leads to that critical moment in 1904 in Cairo, where the entire foundation of Thelema gets laid. So here's where the story gets really wild. While he's in Cairo, Crowley claims that this non-physical being named Aiwass dictated an entire book to him over the course of 3 days. That text, which is called the Book of the Law, basically announced the dawn of a new spiritual age, the Aeon of Horus, an era he believed would be all about individual freedom and each person finding their own unique purpose. And that brings us right to the absolute heart of Thelemic philosophy. It's a concept that gets quoted all the time, but is almost always misunderstood. It's the idea of true will. Ah, there it is. Probably the single most famous and infamous line from the Book of the Law. Now, at first glance, it sounds like a total free-for-all, right? Just do whatever you want. But that's not what it means. Not at all. It's actually way more disciplined and profound than that. Okay, so here's the key distinction. True will is not about just following your passing whims, like deciding you want pizza for dinner. It's about discovering your one single true purpose in life, your unique reason for existing, which is supposed to be in perfect harmony with the universe. Think of it like your higher calling, something totally separate from your ego, what society tells you to want, or just your fleeting desires. This chart really lays out this central challenge. The entire goal of Thelema, what they call the great work, is to learn how to tell the difference between your true will and all that daily noise from your ego and social pressure. It's about consciously moving from the column on the right over to the one on the left. Okay, so if the goal is to discover your true will, how in the world are you supposed to do that? Well, Crowley was a very systematic thinker, and he provided what he considered a master tool for the job. It's a book called Liber 777, and you can think of it like a massive universal filing system for, well, pretty much all of reality. And this is so important to get. Liber 777 is not a book you sit down and read for inspiration. It's a reference manual, a Kabbalistic dictionary of symbols. It takes the ancient tree of life from Kabbalah and uses it to organize literally everything you can imagine. Gods, planets, colors, plants, scents, metals. It puts it all into one big coherent structure. And this is a brilliant example of how it actually works. Let's just take one concept, Geburah. That's the 5th sephira, or sphere, on the Tree of Life, and it represents ideas like strength and severity. So you look it up in Liber 777, and the tables tell you that Geburah corresponds to the planet Mars, the god of Horus, the color red, the metal iron, and the incense olibanum. You see, everything is connected. So what's the point of this gigantic filing cabinet of symbols? For a practitioner, it has 3 really practical uses. 1, it lets them design powerful rituals where every single element is symbolically consistent and reinforcing the same idea. 2, it's a guide to help you interpret symbols you might see in dreams or visions. And 3, it helps reveal the deep, underlying connections between different mythologies from all over the world. Okay, so how does all this theory and these massive tables actually translate into daily life?
Thelema isn't just supposed to be some abstract philosophy. It's meant to be a lived, daily practice. And the engine that really drives that practice is ritual.
One of the absolute cornerstones of the practice is a simple ritual called Liber Resh. It's pretty straightforward. 4 times a day, at sunrise, noon, sunset, and midnight, a practitioner turns to face the sun's position and recites a short adoration to an associated Egyptian god. It's a simple but really powerful way to align yourself with the cycles of the cosmos and maintain a daily discipline. Another foundational practice, this one borrowed from the Golden Dawn, is the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, or the LBRP. You can basically think of this as a kind of magical hygiene. The practitioner uses gestures and words to center themselves, clear their personal space of distracting thoughts and influences, and call on divine protection. It's seen as a must-do before any kind of focused magical work. But here's the secret sauce. The crucial point is that these rituals aren't just meant to be performed by rote, like you're reading from a script. The real power, the real creativity, comes when you use that massive filing system of Liber 777 to enrich and personalize these rituals for your own goals. This synthesis is where the philosophy becomes a practical, creative tool. Let's look at a really practical example. Say your goal, your intention, is to achieve intellectual clarity. You'd grab Liber 777 and find that intellect corresponds to the planet Mercury. Boom! The tables then give you everything you need for your ritual. You know to time it on a Wednesday, you can call upon a god of wisdom like the Egyptian god Thoth, you'd use orange candles in an orange altar cloth, and you'd burn storax incense. Every single element is perfectly aligned with your specific intention, turning an abstract goal into this focused, multisensory experience. And that brings us to another one of the central quotes from the Book of the Law. This phrase just beautifully captures the whole philosophy. Every man and every woman is a star. What it means is that each person is their own sovereign, unique universe, with their own specific path, their own orbit to follow through life. The goal isn't to be like anyone else, it's to be perfectly and uniquely yourself. And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? When you strip away all the controversy and the complex symbols, Thelema poses a really fundamental question that I think resonates with just about everyone. Are we here to conform to a path that's been laid out for us by society and religion, or is the ultimate journey to discover and then bravely walk our own?